Before Marvin Gaye and Sam Cooke, there was this man whose name you may not recognize, but whose voice permanently changed the sound of soul and R&B. He was destined to become one of his generation's biggest stars, thanks to his smoothness, style, and limitless skill. While not as well known to the general public as Sam Cooke or Otis Redding, his 1956 single Goodnight My Love became a classic, and his songwriting helped establish stars' careers by creating songs for legends such as Elvis. However, just as his career was reaching its pinnacle, his life was brutally cut short by a strange and unsettling circumstance. At the time of his passing, he was headed in the same path as Cooke. He was even on the same record company, although he was signed way earlier, and he has been scoring hits and creating songs way before Redding even recorded a single. This man is the lost promise. He was supposed to be better than Sam Cooke, and in my personal opinion, I believe this is one of soul music's biggest what ifs. The centerpiece of today's video is all about Jesse Belvin. Now, if you guys love my videos and love supporting me, then I suggest you become a member of the channel, where I will be releasing exclusive videos just for you all. Be sure to get that family tier so you won't miss out on these exclusive perks. Now, before we start, let's be sure to leave a like on the video, subscribe to the channel, and push that notification bell to be sure you won't miss out on any more content. Now, without further ado, let's cue that intro. Born on December 15th, 1932 in San Antonio, Texas. When he was 5 years old, his family moved to Los Angeles, and by the time he was 7 years old, he began singing at his family's church. In his early teens, he discovered R&B, and in 1950, he joined jazz saxophonist Big J McNeely's backing vocal trio, Three Dots and a Dash. Belvin's falsetto was used prominently on its initial release, 1950's All the Wine Is Gone. The response was so great to the song that his name was placed right up under McNeely's. Belvin and his bandmate Marvin Phillips signed with Specialty Records in 1952. They released 4 singles, the first of 3, Baby Don't Go, One Little Blessing, and Love of My Life. These songs was billed to Jesse Belvin, but they failed to chart. The last single, Dream Girl, which included Belvin on pianos and vocals, while Phillips was on saxophone. This song peaked at number 2 on the R&B charts in 1953. Unfortunately, just as Belvin's career appeared to be taking off, he was recruited into the military. While home on leave, he wrote the song Earth Angel, which was inspired by a young white woman who lived near him. The group The Penguins released the song, which became one of the first R&B songs to reach the mainstream charts, selling 1 million copies between late 1954 and early 1955. Now, a lawsuit developed over the song's authorship and origins, which took nearly 2 years to resolve. Belvin, he was granted 1/3 credit for the song, along with the group member Curtis Williams and a third performer who have claimed to have written the song as well. Belvin was a profound songwriter, although his commercial style was fairly casual. In an era where millions of dollars might be gained from well-protected copyright, Belvin wrote songs to make quick money and frequently sold them, and as reports state, he sold these songs for as little as $100. As a consequence, Belvin was responsible for dozens of songs as a composer and performer on the demo or guide track, but only a few of them had granted him credit. In 1956, he signed a long-term contract with Modern Records and continued to sing for other labels under different aliases, working in the background alongside other musicians. Some of his modern releases was credited to the group The Clicks, which was actually Jesse Belvin and Eugene Church, but the majority of the songs was credited to Belvin alone. The duo recorded The Girl of My Dreams along with I Wanna Know Why, which The Girl of My Dreams peaked at number 45 on the Billboard Hot 100 charts. He made his most memorable song with MOTOWN, titled Goodnight My Love, which had been composed by producer George MOTOWN 10 years before, but he had never finished it. Belvin gave the verses for the bridge that completed the song, but requested $400 of co-authorship credit. George didn't have it, but a co-worker, John Mariscalco, had put up the money, earning a co-authorship credit in the process. The song peaked at number 7 on the R&B charts in 1956. More importantly, at the time, the song became the outro for Alan Freed's rock and roll radio show, which was heard by millions of young listeners each night. Belvin recorded 12 songs for MOTOWN, with the most successful being Goodnight My Love. In 1958, he was back on the road recording for Night, Class, and Jamie Records under his own name, as well with Aladdin Records in collaboration with the Sharp Tones. His biggest hit that year, however, came from the Shields, a group that was founded by George, to record on his own Tender label. Belvin joined the group, which comprised of Frankie Irvin on lead and Johnny Guitar Watson on guitar. The Shields' long collection with Belvin was the song You Cheated, which has already been recorded by a white group that was known as the Slades, but the Shields version was more popular and it peaked at number 15 on the pop charts in the summer of 1958. Around this time, Belvin's career was taking off thanks to part of his wife, Joanne, who was a talented songwriter in her own right, and became his manager and took the leadership position in his business. One of her first major doings was him signing with RCA Records. His first significant success with the new label came in April of 1959 with the top 40 single, Guess Who. Later that year, he completed his debut album titled Just Jesse Belvin, establishing a more mature studio sound as well as a little more polished singing technique. Belvin, like Sam Cooke, who would soon follow him to RCA, saw that he had the adaptability to appeal to mature white audiences while maintaining his initial fan base. The label recognized this as well and thought Belvin could be on the same level as a Nat King Cole or Billy Eckstine. He was so likable that he earned the nickname Mr. Easy for his ease with the ballads that increasingly made up his live shows. Belvin was working on his sophomore album titled Mr. Easy from the end of 1959 until the beginning of 1960. However, he was unable to listen or complete the album. Mr. Easy was released later in 1960 after his passing, and it became his final testimony and lasting legacy. Belvin performed with Jackie Wilson and Marv Johnson in a concert in Little Rock, Arkansas on February 6, 1960, before the album was released. It was the first concert ever played before an integrated audience in Little Rock history. The show was stopped twice by interruptions from white people in the audience shouting racial slurs and urging the white teenagers in the audience to leave. Now, I'll pause right here to give you some background information on Little Rock so you can comprehend the conspiracy surrounding Belvin and his wife passing. At the start of the 1957 school year, Little Rock, Arkansas, capital city, was one of the most well-known cities in the country. Why? The governor of Arkansas, Orville Fabbis, stood in front of Central High school doors, barring African American students from entering. This was a direct defiance of a court order to enroll these students. Before this period, white students in the southern United States attended schools with other white students, while African American students attended their own schools, also having more than 20 students in the classroom. And might I add, the classrooms was very small. Local government that managed the schools maintained that the schools stayed separated until federal courts mandated them. One of the most well-known stories in the American civil rights movement is the school desegregation case in Arkansas, otherwise known as Little Rock 9. Following the performance, Belvin and his wife Joanne was unalive in a head-on collision near Hope, Arkansas. Police thought that Belvin's car had been tamper-rigged. Jackie Wilson told the press that he had asked his lawyer to check out into the situation, but no formal decision was ever made. Belvin and their driver was both pronounced unalive at the scene. His wife later passed at the hospital. Belvin was 27 years old and his wife was 25. News articles state that 4 people lost their lives that day, but it was 5, counting Belvin, his wife, the driver, and the other couple that was involved into the accident. Jesse's mother raised the couple's 2 boys when Jesse and his wife passed. In 2013, a short film that was called Mr. Easy was developed on Belvin's life. After his passing, Crown Records released The Unforgettable Jesse Belvin in 1961. That next year, in 1962, Impact Records issues Belvin singles Tonight My Love, Back with Looking for Love. Now, during my research for this documentary, I discovered that Jesse Belvin is a member of the 27th Club. For those who are unaware, the 27th Club has become one of the most mysterious and sad events in music history. Now, before we go, I have a few questions for you all. What is your favorite song by Jesse Belvin? Also, what other stars from the 27th Club would you like for me to cover?